Here's a question about observing your thoughts. When observing my thoughts, I notice the observation is made after the thought has passed. Is the concept of observing one's thought supposed to occur simultaneously? For example, a thought arises, and so does the being observing the thought? I hope this makes sense. Thanks for everything. That's a good question. One talks often about observing one's thoughts. Can you observe a thought while it arises? Or does the observation come in afterwards? As presence arises, there is presence in the background and thoughts arise in the foreground of your being. So the thoughts arise, and this is very hard to describe, but I'm sure many of you know it because you have experienced it, you experience it. There is a knowing that these thoughts are arising. So there is not a total identification with the arising thoughts. They arise, they may be quite powerful, but if presence remains, there is a remnant of awareness in the background. So you're not totally drawn into the thoughts that arise, which could be opinions, which could be likes and dislikes, which could be all kinds of things. You're not totally identified with the thoughts anymore. The background is there, the background of awareness. That really is the balance that needs to be there in your life between the background, which is presence, and the foreground where things happen. It's another way of putting it. In the foreground, you're thinking, but while you think, in the background, you still sense a certain presence, a field of awareness. And as you listen now, for example, and as I speak now, you're taking in what you're hearing, and external noises, police car going past right now, just to give us an example as the right moment. So you hear those things that are happening, and in the background there is an awareness that this is happening. So there's a sense perception. Now you hear my words, you take them in, they become thoughts in your head. That's the only way you can access them. Auditory perception goes into your ears, signals are transmitted to your brain, the brain reassembles the signals, and then they become thoughts again. But you're also aware of your own presence in the background. I'm aware of the presence out of which the words come. So you're no longer totally trapped in the stream of thought, as those people are in whom the presence or awareness has not been awakened yet. They are totally at the mercy of every thought that arises, and then they get continuously dragged along by this stream of incessant, compulsive thinking, accompanied by certain emotions that reflect the kinds of thoughts they think, and that's their life. Every waking moment, with a few brief intervals of relief when they go, that's beautiful. Or they pet a dog. For a moment the mind stops. And then it comes back. Or you have a child, you're a baby, you look into the baby's eyes, and for a moment there's a space that opens up. It's whenever you feel really good, when there's a goodness that you feel, a joy comes in for a moment. That always means there's a space of no thought, just aware presence, and that's where it comes through. And then the clouds come back again. And they become strongest when there's a reaction towards something, against something. So that is, the awareness is in the background and the thoughts are happening. So you're not totally identified anymore with it. That's really how it is. And it happens, a wonderful thing that happens, as I sometimes put it, thinking, old patterns may still arise, old thoughts may still arise, but you don't completely believe in them anymore, not completely. In other words, they lose their power to make you unhappy. Judgments may still be there, but they are recognized as judgments. So you're not totally in the grip anymore of thoughts. And then thought is no longer problematic. It actually can be a useful tool for creating certain things. Thought is helpful. You can write a book. You need thought to write a book. You need thought for many things, and for many other things you don't need thought. To be a good dancer, you don't need much thought. You need to be able to step out of thought while you dance. Or even a painter. A great painter wouldn't say, "No, I wonder what color is going in that corner there." That's not how creation works. You look and you're present, and something comes through you. And that's the state of creation. You go into the state of creation. For certain creative things, the presence may have to use your mind. It flows into your mind, and then you speak from presence. Maybe you become a public speaker. And to be a powerful public speaker, you need to be able to speak from presence. Then people listen. When you read your script, they are half away. They are only half listening, or they drift off because the power isn't there. You read, "Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to be here tonight to address you, blah, 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 blah." And they... But if you lose your script, you go, words, I don't know what to say right now. And everybody listens. You say, "I don't know what to say," but they can feel the words are genuine and come out of this moment. I feel so nervous as I sit here facing, I'm just saying. I feel so nervous as I sit here facing all of you. Then people begin to wake up and listen, because the words come out of that moment, out of presence. And they are genuine. And then the thought will be, maybe you forget all the things that you meant to say, and it doesn't matter anymore. But you connect. And not only when you talk to an audience, when you talk to an individual person too. You can be boring, just repeat all the stuff that you've repeated already many times, all the predictable reactions, or you can be alert, present, spacious listening. Some of the best interviewers can do that. When they interview a person, they are spontaneous. They may have some questions prepared, but most of the interview then develops spontaneously. And they are the few that they always say the right thing at the right moment. And there's a true meeting. But you have to be thoughtless in that moment. Thoughtless awareness. And when thought happens, it's in the background. When no thought happens, what before was the background becomes the foreground. Like now, I've been speaking, and as I've been speaking, in the background was the awareness. Now that I stop speaking for a moment, the awareness that was in the background comes into the foreground. And when words happen, it recedes again a little bit, and the words appear in the space of awareness. And then the words stop, and it comes into the foreground. Or you could be interested in certain things that you're looking at or listening to, and still feel your essential beingness there, listening. And then you could close your eyes and all you sense is the presence. And you open your eyes and there's sense perception again. Another analogy you could use is the awareness is the canvas, and your life is painted on the canvas, and it changes all the time, although some fixtures, some things seem pretty permanent. So it's a complex canvas, there's a complex picture, and colors appear and figures appear, meaning things happen, thoughts, emotions, events, and so there's this, but they all appear on this canvas. And sometimes, if you awaken spiritually, little spaces appear on the canvas, and it's just white, which is nothing appears there. There's stillness, little moments of stillness here and there, then covered up again, and then as awareness emerges as a more permanent state or realization, the canvas shines through the colors that appear on it, and the figures and the pictures that appear on it. And so there's an awareness of the canvas, and at the same time, life happens. It's an analogy, no more. And then the canvas actually has a more ethereal quality to it, because it's not just the stuff on it. It's that which enables the stuff that's on it to be, shines through. And that's a wonderful shift in your life, because before that happens, all you have is the stuff of your life. And you don't know anything other than the stuff that makes up your life, which by stuff, I use that generic term, stuff means external stuff and inner stuff. External stuff is all the things that go on in your life. It includes all the possessions, that's the stuff that's in your house or your apartment, that you may be looking for more stuff to put in there. And then there's the stuff of your relationships and your finances, and the stuff of all, and then the inner stuff of all your thoughts that go one thought after another, more stuff. So most people's lives are just filled with stuff. Stuff is my life. I'm using that generic term to include almost everything. But they're not aware of that which is beyond stuff, but enables all the stuff to be, the canvas, which is, of course, is the space, the consciousness. So they're not aware, but as that awareness comes into your life, the canvas shines through the stuff, and the stuff is no longer opaque. It does not have that density anymore. It still happens, and that is liberation from just stuff. That is the transcendent dimension that then shines into your life. That is the true meaning of spiritual. Spiritual is not a thought. It's not even a feeling. It is not a belief. And talking about God 12 hours a day doesn't make you spiritual either. And so when that shines through in your life, you can give a sigh of relief. Oh, then it does get easier.